Hi there, and welcome to this video. I'm Sherry Rothwell from nutritionwisdom.ca, and this is Diana Plante, and she is a graduate of the Nourished Nutrition Business program, and she specializes in helping people who struggle with weight obsession, counting calories, dieting, all sorts of stuff related to your relationship with food. And she had a background where she struggled herself with these issues and turned that the transformation that she made in her life to go from somebody who obsessed about food to learning about food in a way that made it so that she didn't have to obsess anymore about food and instead have a good relationship with food where now she, loves cooking and she knows that she can eat what she wants as long as it's whole foods and not have to worry about dieting to maintain her weight and a healthy relationship to food. So I'm super excited to have Diana as a graduate of the Nourished Nutrition Business program. And she's done amazing work in her business and making a difference with her clients, helping them, connect better to food and have the same transformation that she had, right? Where, not only are they losing weight, but they are having that, that paradigm shift of really getting that they don't have to deprive themselves. And as they become more conscious of, whole foods, that they don't really have to, really think about dieting anymore, that they get to expand and eat more than they ever ate before. And that's the major transformation that Diana is here to bring in onto this planet. And I'm super excited that we got to have her as part of the program because my passion is to see other holistic nutritionists be successful in their business for two reasons. One is to see Diana be successful in life and live her dream life. And also because of all the people that she is meant to serve in the coming years, not only the people she's already served in her business, but moving forward decade after decade, think of all the lives that will be changed because of Diana's success in her business. So welcome and thank you so much for being willing to share your experience with us, Diana.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So why don't you just let us know what things were like for you when you finished school as a holistic nutritionist before you took the Nourished Nutrition Business program. Where was your head at in terms of thinking about your business right when you graduated and then you took the program? What were things like at that point?
Okay. I graduated and I still had a ton of passion and I wanted to take what I learned and share it with the world.
Yeah. I
just really didn't know how I was going to go about that. I didn't know the strategies to do so. I was pretty aimless, honestly. I did not know how I was going to go about it. So it was really a blessing from God when your program came up. It was like when I read the description of what your program included, I was like, this is everything I need. Like I was so excited about it. So
good. Great to hear. All right. And so what was so Diana, she took the she was actually part of the very first version of the Nourished Nutrition Business program, which was originally, it's now an online program, but it was originally held in my house 3 times before we brought it online. And Diana was part of our very first group. Was that right? Or was it the second group?
No, the first group.
Okay, yeah. So what was your experience like as you were taking the program?
It was good. It was awesome. Every session with you was a huge learning curve.
Yeah, lots to learn.
In a good way though, like there was so much content, but it was fabulous. And you helped me to implement everything that you were teaching. You had like to accomplish list to implement. So really helped to throw the program, keep me focused on what I needed to work on, giving me that step-by-step, this is where you need to be, what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
And holding us accountable to make sure it got done.
Yeah. Okay. So when you were in the program, you learned a whole bunch of new concepts for business. And I know that, like Diana, she took the program, it's been a couple years since she graduated, but she's stayed in contact with me and also had some private coaching sessions together where I helped her to implement the stuff that she learned in the program on a personal level.
Right.
And, Diana is the kind of person who, just like all of us, we all have fears, but she has the courage to move through them and take risks. And that's essentially why she's been so successful with the content of the program. And so one of the things that I know that you had mentioned to me like recently is that when you finish the program, in between, finishing the program and then, taking the content, one of the things that we do in the Nourished Nutrition Business program is I teach people how to set up a beta program, which is basically an opportunity for you to go out into the community, get some clients, offer your services at a reduced fee so that you can get the practice and experience and the testimonials and the feedback that's going to like make the program that you've created for your clients amazing. Mm-hmm. And so recently Diana has completed doing all that. She put all that into practice and she actually made money as a nutritionist. A lot of people graduate as health coaches and nutritionists from school and they have no clue what to do business-wise, and they just don't get clients, right? Whereas Diana took everything that I shared with her and went ahead and did that and generated cash in hand. And then after doing that, raised her prices and then enrolled her very first high-end coaching client. Okay, so she had the courage to implement everything in the program. But there was a point just in the conversation that we had recently where you were saying that there was a point where you were like maybe not sure if the model that I taught you was possible. And that when you went out and started to listen to other business coaches and their model, that you were like, oh, okay, this is actually something that people really do. They really do offer high-end coaching services as nutritionists. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what was that like for you, that place where you're like, oh, I'm not sure if this is even possible, to I can do this?
Well, I guess there is a guilt that I have in terms of like charging people money because I am so passionate about this work.
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely vital that people learn about nutrition and the nourishment that their body actually needs.
Right.
So I have this passion that I want to share and I want to teach people. And so there's this guilt around me, like even charging money.
Yeah.
But in order for me to be able to do what I love and make a business and be able to serve people, I do have to charge money, right? And I have to charge enough so that I'm not getting burnt out in the process. Yeah. Because if I'm charging, like just people, when you're working with a client, they do not understand the hours and hours and hours that go into creating protocols. So but you look at other things that people spend money on, and then that's another thing that has really helped me not feel bad about charging what I'm worth, because people will spend money on things that really aren't that necessary, right? Like your health should be like up there on like the number one, like, or close to number one, right? So
are you going to enjoy what you have in life if you don't have the health to enjoy it, right?
Absolutely. So people just need to get their priorities in line, and I can't feel bad about charging money to do what I do, because I can't get sick and burnt out along the way, right? If I want to serve people, I need to be getting served back.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's so true. And, one of the things that maybe you can share a little bit about how actually just going and doing the beta program, like it gave you the courage to create the program and to serve people at the reduced fee. But that out of doing that also helped give you the courage to charge the high-end fees after knowing what it really took to serve at the level that is required to provide somebody with a transformation.
For sure. Sorry, so you want me to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, just what the feeling was like to get that on a visceral level, because what I find, working with clients is no matter how many times I tell people what their prices need to be in order for them to not get burnt out, to be able to serve at the highest level, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to go through the experience of working and providing way more for the client than they're actually paying for, to realize that, this is it. You have to actually charge a higher end price on your product or service so that you can deliver that high value transformation, right?
Yeah, 100%. Going through that with my beta clients for the price that I charged them was a really big learning it was a huge learning experience for me because yes, I completely understand now why the prices need to be what they are. I definitely burnt myself out working with the clients. I do not regret it. It was an amazing experience, but definitely I had no time for myself. Like I myself, like teaching people how to get healthy and like taking them through this transformation, I did not create enough time for myself to be able to like be in the kitchen, making healthy meals for myself, having a balance between work and life and like my personal life and stuff. I put everything aside to work with clients. Like my heart and my soul went into it, and I dropped off everything else to do it. And so having that experience, I absolutely understand now why the prices need to be higher, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's great. You just kind of have to learn it that way. And that's why we include that in the program as that stepping stone, right? Because for most people, we need a stepping stone. Hey there. So we just had a little blurb in this interview, and my power in my house went off. Super silly. That's the whole thing about being in business and, dealing with technology and just, letting it go. There's no need for us to do this video from scratch again. And this is something that I, love to impart to my students that, business is real life, and it's not about everything being perfect. Mm-hmm. And so we had a power outage, and now I'm going to slice these two videos together. So as the watcher, you might not even notice, but you probably will because there was a so what I was just saying before we got cut off was that a lot of people need that experience of, doing the beta program to get over that hump of the fear of charging money for their services when they don't have experience. So the program includes that model to help you to get the experience, because people feel like they're in the chicken or egg. What comes first, right? The experience or the confidence? And it's like, they both go together, and you just have to be brave, and doing a beta program is one of those ways of doing that. So what Diana did was she ran a beta program, and that gave her the confidence and experience that allowed her to attract a new client paying a higher fee, right? So in the Nourished Nutrition Business program, we teach you to create packages that are at minimum $1,000 or more. Okay. And for a lot of people, coming out of the model of the one-off sessions model, find that that's a scary leap, right? Because we're, thinking we're going to get paid by the hour. And what we do in this program is we create a signature system that's designed to get your clients results. And what they pay for is the transformation that you provide, an amazing, hands-on experience that we provide for our clients, so that we're not just giving them intellectual information, but an actual process for implementing what they learn and getting the support and accountability to complete the program and get the transformation that they signed up for. So Diana's, someone who she's a perfect example of what the path can look like for, each person moving forward. It's just having the courage to, putting the commitment in, the time to make that results-based system, which she did. Then she had the courage to charge people money for her services. And she enrolled 6 clients in her beta program. Okay. And then she literally had a testimonial that she got from one of those clients that, well, why don't you tell them how you basically turned that testimonial into a high-end client the next week after, or within a week or so of sharing that testimonial on Facebook.
Sure. So with one of my beta clients in the last session we had together, she wrote me a testimonial of her results, which I shared in the last video. Basically, in a nutshell, within the 8 weeks, she lost 20 pounds and dropped 3 to 4 pant sizes, had more energy, virtually no cravings, and said she really loved the program in general. So I literally read her testimonial in a video that I put on Facebook. And the next day I went into a coffee shop in Valley View, and there was a lady that recognized me from the video that she watched the day before. She watched me in the video with the testimonial, and she sat down with me and just told me she was interested and that she would like some help. And so I booked her in for a discovery session the next week and converted her into a client.
Yeah. Beautiful. And it's so much easier when you just go out there, put yourself on the limb, do the work, right? And then you get the results for your clients, and then she gives you a great testimonial, which makes it easy for you to sign up the next person, right? So it just snowballs from there. So congratulations on your new client.
Thank you. I just wanted to say one thing. When I just said converted her into a client, I don't even like using those words, like, because that's not what it is. Like, one thing that you taught me is that selling is serving. I'm providing a service, and it's going to be transformational in her life. And, I don't like looking at it as like, oh, I converted her into a client. Like, it's a service. So I just wanted to say that I felt bad about that coming out of my mouth. I don't like the sound of that, because that's not what I'm about.
Yeah, I hear you. And thank you for actually speaking to that in the moment that you saw it, because essentially Diana's, we know that she's here to make a difference, and her heart is in it. And she literally was guided to this path so that she could transform lives. We know that. But sometimes when you're studying business, and of course, she's been on a lot of other, probably free gifts and things like that from other business coaches. And in the business world, we use terms like convert, right? So it just drops into your head as the way of describing what happened. But that's not, the vibe that Diana's creating for her clients, right? When she has a discovery session with people, this is like a sacred conversation that she's stepping into, where she is sharing, that space with somebody where they're both talking about something that they're super passionate about, right? Which is, the person is passionate about getting their results, having the relationship to food that would relieve them of the stress and the focus and the obsession. And that's Diana's passion, right? Is to help people to let that go. So every time she goes into a discovery session, which is basically a sales conversation, if you're, talking in business language, she's literally sitting down to it like that. And it's a transformative experience just to get on a sales conversation with Diana. So thank you for speaking to that, because a lot of people, when they are, making a decision about wanting to, get serious about their work and actually turn it into a business, they have so much fear around things like sales, right? And that can stop people from even doing the work, from even, I remember when I first got started, I had moments where I was just like, screw this. Like, I don't want to, if I have to be a salesperson to be a nutritionist, well, I didn't sign up for that. I only signed up, excuse me, to help people. I did not sign up to have to be an expert at sales.
Right.
Right. So the kind of approach that we use in the Nourished Nutrition Business program feels more like a sacred conversation rather than an actual sales conversation that's about conversion, just to get the client for the purpose of making the sale. The client, the process is basically set up so that you and the client feel into whether or not you're a good match to work together, as well as is the program that you offer the perfect match for them, right? And that's what you want. We want it for them, and we want it for ourselves as practitioners, because we only want to work with people that are going to get results, right?
Yeah.
So, that's essentially what, thank you for speaking to that, because a lot of people, they sit there in that feeling of being afraid because of that language in the business and the sales and marketing world that sounds very taking rather than giving. So yeah, right. Self-serving. Thank you. Wonderful. So, what would you say to somebody who's sitting on the fence right now about taking the Nourished Nutrition Business program, to help them to have the courage to believe that they can do it, that they can, really set up a results-based service that will help people get the transformation that they provide and be successful in their business?
Sorry, ask me the question part again.
Yeah, no worries. So if somebody was, had landed on the sales page, same way that you were sitting one day in front of the curriculum, you were sitting in front of the curriculum. You're like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. So somebody right now is sitting on my sales page and they're like, oh my God, I think this is like exactly what I need. What would you say to them to help them, encourage them to take the risk on themselves and believe that they can do it? Because people sit there and they think, well, just because Diana could do it doesn't mean I could do it. Why can they do it?
why can they do it?
Yeah. What would you say to them? What would you say if it was like just a friend who was like, oh, Diana, what did you think of the Nourished Nutrition Business course? Should I do it?
Okay, like the investment that you put into it will come back to you like 100-fold. Like you have to be able to make that investment in yourself, and if you want to move forward in your business, because if you have to go and collect all the pieces of that comes in this program, if you go and do that on your own, it's going to take you way longer to put all the pieces together on your own. Whereas you've walked the path and you're successful doing what you're doing, you've laid out the path. It makes more sense to invest in it and be shown what to do step by step and be helped along with the mindset as well. Because doing it on your own without a business coach or like without the Nourished Nutrition coaching program, even if you have the strategy, you're shown by other people, the strategy, you most likely are going to need help with the mindset, because there is, coming from like someone who's gone through it, there's so much emotional stuff that comes up with trying to do this because, well, a lot of different reasons, right? Like this is a unique field, and there's a lot of like, how would I say this? I guess a lot of people wouldn't validate necessarily what you do because it's not something that you go to like university for and you get your degree. So there's like validation issues around it. And yeah, there's just a lot of stumbling blocks. Honestly, there's a ton of stumbling blocks that come up, and it's important to have a coach to help you through that because you may get lost in it if you're trying to do it all on your own.
Yeah.
It will be a lot faster to just make the investment than trying to do it all on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true, right? It's like, you know, there's, like you said, there's strategy, but if you don't have the proper mindset or the belief system to put it into place, and that's, you know, the program itself is really about the strategy, but then the connection with the people and with me and in the live streams and, you know, private coaching, all of that is to help you to have the confidence to actually put it into practice, right? To know that you're not alone and that there's someone there that you can ask questions of. You know, that makes all the difference. So I want to thank you so much, Diana, for taking the time to share your experience of being in the program and also what you actually did with what you learned and manifested in your life. So that's wonderful. And I can't wait to continue to see you thrive and take your business to the next level. So thanks so much again for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me on, Sherry. I appreciate it.
Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.